Hello. So let's talk red, shall we? Red should be pretty simple. Red is red, but like any color, there's different temperatures of red. And in this poppy, which was in a neighbor's yard, and end up making a beautiful little painting. In fact, this little painting is on a little canvas board. Here, hold on a minute. Let me take you back to regular size. This is a Raymar panel. It's a canvas on a museum quality panel. This is only 6 by 6. Fun size to work on for little paintings. So let's get back to reds. Now I put my reds out on my palette, okay, and the warmest red right here is cadmium red light. It's an opaque color, which means it's not transparent. The next, this is a deep red by Rembrandt. It's called Cadmium Red Deep. Beautiful, beautiful deep red color. And it's real pretty. It's just a nice color. I'm going to pause this. Just this cad red light has more orangey base to it. To me, it's almost like the color of tangerine, but redder. It's also an opaque color. I'm trying to get my paper towel going here without getting paint all over my clothes. A cooler color is this quinacridone rose, which is right here, and it's a cool red. Isn't that pretty? And it's transparent. I don't know. It's prettier in person, but beautiful color. And then I do have a Blick color, and it's called Brilliant Rose, which is really pretty too. It's opaque, means you can't see through it, but it really makes it's a beautiful rose color, honestly. I didn't use this color in my poppy, but I wanted to share it because it is really a beautiful color. So our reds, when we're building our painting with reds, I always start with my darks as usual. And the darks are cooler. Well, I'd actually make this little purple center. And with that, I would be using my quinacridone rose and ultramarine blue to make that deep dark violet in there. And these reds right here are the quinacridone rose, that cool, transparent rose. Quinacridone rose that I worked into here. And some of these other colors are not as transparent because I actually picked up some of the deep red, a warmer deep red, mixed it with the transparent cool red. And so what we're doing is building up the colors from cool to warmer. And then in here actually is that cadmium red light that I said kind of has a tangerine-ish color to it. It's really pretty. Really pretty color. And it just glows very nicely. Really like that color. And then what happens is, well, there are a few little rose colors, right? Now that I'm looking back at this, there's a little bit of rose into this painting. So the trick is to lighten a red instead of going from like these dark reds. We don't automatically add white in the colors that are not in the sun. When the sun starts to hit the petals, the trick is to add white without going too pink, right? We just want to lift the color. We want to lighten the value without going pink necessarily. Sometimes we want to go pink. On this red poppy, I didn't really want to go pink. I also come in with some cooler tones, even like some blues into there, which you could see blues in the background, right? I'm messing with the focus on here. There's blues in the background, and some of those blues I played into the flower itself, but also some of these reds you will see in the background. I tend to paint colors all over. I like to make like a tapestry of colors where they tend to weave all over the place. I have cool greens up in here, right? And down in here, that's Viridian green. Really pretty, cool Viridian. You can see it around. And then we get into a warmer green. And actually it will have like a lemon yellow splashes in there to warm it up. And it does brighten it up, but I'm not adding whites. I'm going from darker to warmer, cooler to warmer. And then of course the center has these yellows, probably a cad yellow dark, and then with some white into it, and the cad red light, which looks kind of orange. And that's reds. I mean, I've done a lot of garments, red garments, and it's the same process. You take and start with your cooler, deeper reds and warm them up with a cad red deep, and then into a cad red light. And then you can add white to them, or some reds I will actually go all the way out to orange if I want to. But so that's a brief little tutorial on reds, because reds can be tricky, because if you're just using red and it's one value red, they look really, really flat. You have no dimension, and so this works really well. And I have a mix of opaque colors, transparent colors, right? That's nice too. And there's a mix of textures. Come in with thin layers, and then also can come in with heavier paint. So you get a variety of temperature and texture. And I particularly really like this little painting. Like I said, it's just a little 6x6. Usually I use my, I'm going to get in here to grab a brush. Usually I use a lot of filberts, but on this particular painting, I tended more to use, a flat brush, because this painting has quite a few edges. And it has edges to it. And you need a flat edge brush to get a flat edge. The other brush that I'm not as well, I don't have as much control of this brush. One of my students who does a lot of cactus, and she's mastered reds, she uses this kind of brush. It's a wedge brush. And this is a great brush for, like, you can come in here and get an edge and just drop it, right? So it's a good brush. And as always, these brushes come in different sizes. This happens to be a number 3. They call it an angle bright. Bright usually means shorter bristles, but it also kind of works for the stems. But so anyway, here's a quick tutorial on that, and I thought I would just share it. Now have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.